Coming up on KTTC News at 10, some serious questions being raised after the Coast Guard shutters its only station north of Duluth on Lake Superior. Also, a lot of us have seen our vehicle insurance spike, an explanation from some in the insurance industry. But first, sights set on Rochester's future. Destination Medical Center leaders tell us about some big projects coming down the pipeline.
Live from your local news leader, this is KTTC News.
Thanks for joining us. I'm Tom Overley. Caitlin Alexander is off tonight. Connectivity was the theme of tonight's DMC annual meeting with city officials, business owners, and other community members convening to talk about the city's future. KTTC's Noah Kaplan talked with DMC's executive director on what we can expect headed into the upcoming year.
What you see here is the first portion of Discovery Walk, a new walkway that's meant to connect Soldiers Field Park to downtown Rochester and Peace Plaza.
What's happening in Rochester is a community movement. It's not one organization or one company.
And according to Destination Medical Center, its big goal ahead of this year is to connect it all. That includes even the newest additions, such as the Downtown Task Force and the meetings that gave the group of organizations input on what needed to change downtown.
It resulted in kind of coalescing around 4 themes, being clear about who could take the lead on each of those themes.
Other DMC members sharing their perspectives on how the city can become more inclusive, mentioning the partnership between the City of Rochester and DMC known as Equity Alliance.
It's a space where organizations can work together to create a cohesive DEI plan.
Rochester Mayor Kim Norton also spoke at the event, where one of the main topics of discussion for her was the city's riverfront. The mayor going as far as calling that space underutilized.
Yeah, I can think of 4 different areas that can be developed and will be developed in the coming years. It takes time.
And in light of recent announcements that a homeless shelter might be built on the southeast part of Rochester, DMC Executive Director Patrick Sieb says housing for all residents remains a priority.
People shouldn't have to live without shelter.
Reporting in Rochester, I'm Noah Kaplan.
And some other major developments DMC members mentioned: a number of new restaurants opening downtown in the past year, plus the conversion of the Doubletree Hilton into student housing. Sieb says the presence of hundreds of students downtown should help bolster the local economy. We have some new developments to report tonight in the debate over Minnesota school resource officers. This evening, the leaders of the Minnesota House and Senate are committing to holding public hearings about this big issue. The hearings will not be held until the legislature reconvenes in January. Until then, the DFL leadership says Attorney General Keith Ellison's new legal opinion on the matter should give police the clarity that they have been seeking up till now. Meantime, Governor Tim Walz says he is eager to see school resource officers return as soon as possible. Let's talk weather now and to go to the weather patio with our chief meteorologist, Nick Jensen. Not too shabby of a day out there, and still, we need a little rain, though. I'm thinking it's really terribly dry.
Hey, yeah, I know. It feels like we've been talking about it all summer long, right? Because we've had the extreme and exceptional drought across southeast Minnesota, and the latest drought monitor released today. We'll go over that coming up in your full forecast, where we see that exceptional drought, the highest point of drought that you can get on the drought monitor. A lot of us under those conditions at this point in time. We are tracking the chance for some storm chances this weekend. Isolated scattered storms will be possible probably late on Friday, extending Saturday and Sunday. Kind of on and off, but we could get some much needed rainfall accumulations from that. Temperatures today, low 80s, 82 degrees, 12 degrees above average for today's date in Rochester, all the way up at 85 in Minneapolis, La Crosse at 86. Everyone getting into the 80s today. Lewis and that live camera, 64 outside. Wind out of the east-southeast at 7 miles per hour as our temperatures drop into the 50s. Wouldn't be surprised if we have some patchy fog outside the city limits coming up tomorrow. 66 in Albert Lee, 61 in Winona. It's still in the 70s in La Crosse. Just have some high-level clouds. We are dry and quiet here tonight. So notice we are increasing that cloud cover. I do think we have some cloudy sky on the way tomorrow. Showers and thunderstorms into the northern plains. So notice we're looking at Nebraska into South Dakota. We'll be watching that maybe move in if it holds together through the evening tomorrow. So as we look ahead here, I think we start to see maybe those rain chances start to move in, especially for areas north of I-90 by about 7 to 8 o'clock tomorrow night. The timing, I wouldn't say I have high confidence in timing overall of showers and storms. I do think they'll kind of be on and off late Friday, Saturday, and then into your Sunday too. We'll track out the storms and look at that latest drought monitor. That's coming up in your full First Alert forecast. Tom.
All right, thank you, Nick. An Olmsted County Sheriff's deputy is assaulted after an overnight traffic stop. This happened just after midnight Wednesday morning on Highway 52. The deputy pulled over a driver and passenger for a license violation. According to the Olmsted County Sheriff's Office, during that stop, the deputy learned that the female driver had been assaulted by the male passenger and tried to arrest then 28-year-old Andrew Fogan of Stewartville. Fogan is currently on federal probation. We're told that he became combative during the arrest, punching the deputy in the face. The officer's lip was cut. His face is swollen. After the use of a taser to subdue him, Fogan was arrested for assault and transported to the adult detention center. The Owatonna Police Department is investigating an assault that left one victim with stab wounds. Officers responded around 4:15 yesterday afternoon. The victim was transported from the scene by a Mayo ambulance. As of right now, there's no word on the victim's condition and there's no threat to the public. With falling corn prices and the hot, dry summer taking its toll, farmers could be filing more crop insurance claims. Connor Hendricks has a look at what farmers can expect this year.
Crop insurance payments are based on the difference in price of the spring and fall forecasts. This spring, corn was trading at $5.91. Right now, it's trading at $4.78 a bushel. Logan Lyon with the Iowa Corn Growers Association says when next month's prices come out, there may be an increase in farmers filing claims.
If that price holds true, there's a really good opportunity for crop insurance payments just based on the decline in price and based on the variability of the crop that's out there this year.
Another factor in crop insurance, yields. Lyon says this summer's heat and drought could lead to claims too.
The unique part about this year is we have some struggling yields out there, or there's predictions that there's going to be some struggling yields. So right now we're trying to define that happy medium of decreased production and decreased price really is a perfect storm for some larger indemnities.
With changing weather patterns comes increased storms. Lyon says the number of claims could climb.
If we have continued, challenges in getting enough moisture or too much moisture, crop insurance is available to cover too much rain, too much heat, too much drought, all those things. There is more opportunity for there to be claims.
The Farm Bill, which in its current form expires at the end of the month, is still being debated on Capitol Hill. Lyon says one thing to watch for is the crop insurance section, which subsidizes up to 50% of the cost. In Des Moines, I'm Connor Hendricks reporting.
Well, vehicle owners are in for some sticker shock as well as insurance rates continue to go up. It's become more visible in the post-COVID era, especially. Scott Holman with the Insurance Information Institute says although inflation certainly plays a big factor in increasing rates, the rise is also due to drivers' decisions behind the wheel. Holman says this increase in accidents means insurance companies are more at a loss. And more crashes plus supply chain problems caused by the pandemic are two major reasons that spare part prices and repair costs have also gone up.
We also know that there are more cars on the road with very sophisticated technology, and those tech-savvy cars are designed to enhance our safety, but when they're in accidents, it's higher to repair those cars because technology is expensive.
And with Minnesota vehicle owners being susceptible to weather-related damages like hail, the state's auto insurance rates keep climbing. And with that, Holman recommends exploring a number of insurance providers to find the best deal for you. A bipartisan group of lawmakers is raising concerns about safety on Lake Superior after the Coast Guard closed its only station north of Duluth. That station in Grand Marais closed permanently last fall, and that means stations in Duluth and Wisconsin must now cover water emergencies all the way to the Canadian border. And now Democratic Senator Amy Klobuchar and Republican Congressman Pete Stauber have sent them a letter asking what resources can be provided to local authorities. State Senator Grant Hauschild is also asking questions.
What support are they able to provide as a federal Coast Guard to our local law enforcement and the others that are providing this public safety now that they have departed?
And the Minnesota legislature has sent $3 million to help with training and equipment in that area. But the local sheriff says it'll take 2 years to get everything up and running. Well, the local unit of Civil Air Patrol had an open house today at the Great Plains Aviation Center to show how they make an impact on the community. At that open house, there were cadets and members of the squadron with displays and demonstrations of their equipment. Ages 12 to 21 can get involved with Civil Air Patrol and their leadership opportunities by attending the events.
Civil Air Patrol is the auxiliary of the Air Force. We're a non-profit organization chartered by Congress. Our current missions in today's world are emergency services, aerospace education, and our cadet programs.
And if you're looking to get involved with our local Civil Air Patrol, you can visit our website. We've got some information for you. That's at KTTC.com. Zolman Zoo is closing Monday, not for the season, just for a few weeks. The closure begins Monday, will last until Friday, October 6th. The zoo is replacing the wooden boardwalk with asphalt trails. Olmsted County says the new trails will be more accessible and safer for future visitors.
We have to do it because the boardwalk is losing its longevity. It just doesn't last nearly as long as the blacktop, and cost-effective blacktop is much more inexpensive. And since we're using tax dollars, we need to do what's best with the tax dollar money.
And the rest of Oxbow Park, including the Nature Center, hiking trails, and public programming, will continue as scheduled while the boardwalks are replaced. The Ukrainian president back in Washington seeking more U.S. support, the kind of response his visit is getting. Also, we'll have an update on a deadly charter bus crash filled with students headed to band camp.
Hey, we are tracking the chance of some showers and thunderstorms on the way tomorrow. We'll have details on that and look ahead to maybe the weekend. Another chance of some rain. Boy, there's some flowers in our lawns and everything else could use the rain. We'll talk about that coming up in your forecast right after this.
Well, 2 adults are dead after a bus crashed while carrying New York high school students to band camp. The charter bus veered off a highway, tumbled down that embankment. The crash killed the school's band director and a retired teacher who was on the bus. It was one of 6 buses headed to camp. Some students on the other buses learned about the crash when they saw their friends posting pictures of their injuries on social media. Authorities believe a tire failed and it may have been to blame for the crash. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky is in Washington to seek continued support from the U.S. President Biden has asked Congress to approve billions more in aid, but some Republicans are now questioning where that money is going. Zelensky met with House leaders and members of the Senate. Unlike his last visit, there wasn't much fanfare. The Biden administration wants an additional $24 billion in aid, saying it's in America's best interests. But there's more hesitancy from Republicans about providing aid for a war that they say continues to drag on and on.
What is it that we are trying to accomplish, and at what cost? I mean, we're going to spend another $100 billion for what?
Imagine how much higher that cost will be, not just in treasure, but in American blood, if we just turn a blind eye and we let Mr. Putin take all of Ukraine.
Well, Zelensky also made stops at the Pentagon and at the White House, where he met with President Biden and the First Lady. The president announced a new round of military aid, including weapons and cluster munitions. An attempt to keep the military funded in case of a government shutdown has failed. A vote to allow debate on the defense spending bill failed by a narrow margin today. Speaker Kevin McCarthy had hoped to approve the bill separately from the other appropriations bill. 6 Republicans joined all Democrats in rejecting the idea. And one of the titans of media is retiring. Today, Rupert Murdoch announced he is stepping aside at age 91. He started with newspapers and later built Fox into a major broadcast network. He's also taken heat for scandals at some of his media outlets, including a phone hacking scandal in the UK and sexual harassment allegations at Fox News. Murdoch's son will take over the company known as News Corp.
Here's your first alert weather with Chief Meteorologist Nick Jansen.
Hey, the latest drought monitor was released today, and we had a lot of changes in terms of our exceptional drought in southeast Minnesota, northeast Iowa. Notice that dark color there, that dark red, really expanding. The past couple weeks, we were really only looking at about western Mower and into eastern Freeborn County. Just east of Albert Lea was under that exceptional drought. From the National Weather Service, some areas in that exceptional drought, so stretching from almost Albert Lea through Austin into Fillmore County, getting into northern Iowa, say Mitchell, Howard, Winneshiek, Almaky counties. Some of those areas since April 1st are about 3 to even 15 inches of precip below average. So to say that we're in a drought is not saying it correctly. We're in an exceptional, extreme drought, essentially, across our region. That extreme drought here in the bright red basically runs all the way from close to I-80 in Iowa, all the way up near about Brainerd, towards Bemidji, even towards Duluth here. So we still have a lot of drought conditions in, say, eastern Minnesota. Some of those farm impacts from the National Weather Service here. We have major impacts from corn, and hay prices have dramatically increased. So on average, from the National Weather Service, they said on average hay bales range from about $35 to $45. Well, this year they're seeing anything range from about $100 to $160. Then we look at our river impacts here. The South Fork of the Zumbro, still the last measurement to just about 6% of the normal flow. Even the Mississippi River having those impacts here, 9% of the normal flow. That was just recorded by Winona. So we need the rainfall. In layman's terms, yes, we need the rainfall. There will be some rain chances in this 7-day forecast, but I really don't think overall we're looking at rain that will really change those drought conditions. We would need 4, 5, 6 inches of rainfall, and I don't see that on the way. A couple showers maybe looking at Friday. This weekend, I think showers will stay scattered, and then next week we're back to some seasonal type temperatures. Outside right now in Rochester, Lewis and Otto live camera, 64 outside. Temperatures remaining in the lower 60s. We have 61 in Winona, still low 70s in La Crosse. Future track radar, we're dry. Most of us will stay dry. Some cloud cover here looking into northern Iowa. The most everywhere dry at this point in time, but we're keeping our eye on that system that is out to our west, moving through South Dakota and getting into northern Nebraska. Eventually, that'll move in probably late tomorrow. Notice we are dry and quiet towards the morning. We start to pick up that cloud cover. Future track here starts to bring in a shower chance towards about Mason City, Highway 18 by about 4 o'clock on Friday. I think it's a little too widespread for tomorrow evening, but there will be the chance for maybe a straight isolated shower and thunderstorm Friday night. It'd be nice if we can see that type of coverage, but I don't have confidence that everyone will be seeing the rainfall Friday evening. We fast forward to Saturday. I think this will be our best chance for some rain. Notice showers and thunderstorms west of I-35. As long as it's not the common theme like we've seen this year, where we have a lot of rain out west of I-35, it moves east and falls apart. So if it holds together, we're looking at maybe getting some nice rainfall amounts Saturday extending into Sunday. Isolated chance Friday evening, scattered then coming up on Saturday. Overall, I do think we could probably get to about a ½ inch to 3/4 of an inch of rain for most locations coming up in southeast Minnesota. Temperatures looking at about 57 for that overnight low tonight. Some fog and cloudy skies tomorrow. Maybe some peaks of sunshine. And then the chance for some showers and thunderstorms into the evening. We have a garden gallery winner here. We have Carol. Thanks for sending that in. Beautiful flowers there. Didn't show that at 6 o'clock. Carol, you win a $10 gift card. Sergeant's on second. 7-day forecast here. 74 for the high Saturday. Chances for those scattered showers and thunderstorms. Some showers linger on into Sunday. Next week, temperatures not as summer-like. Fall starts Saturday morning at 150, Tom. So temps coming up on Tuesday and Wednesday in the low 70s.
And feels like fall for sure coming up. Thank you, Nick. A food pantry can help more college students after generous donation from 2 Rochester businessmen today. We'll have more on that. Also, everyone needs a chance to get together even when battling dementia. We're going to take you to the Memory Cafe, a very special place. It's coming up in 2 minutes.
KTTC weather brought to you by Lewis.
Welcome back. A fun get-together for people with dementia. Elder Network hosted a memory cafe at Zadio's Pizza this afternoon. A memory cafe includes free food, games, fun activities for those participating. Elder Network's education specialist Melissa Stone says the cafe is a safe space for those facing dementia. She says it helps them connect with one another and to spend some quality time together. The program is offered on a voluntary contribution basis, and it's hosted every third Thursday of the month at 2 p.m. at Zadio's Pizza. Elder Network serves as a network to assist caregivers and those needing care. A nonprofit group helps people find the information and resources to meet all of their needs. A valuable resource here in town. In an effort to fight against student food insecurity, 2 local State Farm agents donated $5,000 to the RCTC's food pantry. The school's Hive Supply provides basic necessities for free to students in need. It includes non-perishable food items, personal hygiene products, and cleaning supplies. Students are allowed to visit once a week. They can take up to 15 items a visit. The Rochester agents presented the check to the school's Hive Supply this morning actually, at RCTC main campus. RCTC says the supply continues to see an increase in student use over the past year. It says any help to reduce student food insecurity is always welcome.
Up next in sports, we got a great night of local action, including the top 10 girls soccer matchup in Byron. And on the gridiron, third-ranked Chatfield heads into the Snake Pit. I know our resident Cobra, producer Leah, can't wait for this one. Highlights from Triton. It's after the break.
For Gopher touchdown.
Get 50% off lists during the Big Fall Home Sale at Slum.
KTTC Sports from the Lucina Siding and Windows Sports Wall.
What's going on, friends? I'm Julian Mitchell. Tonight on the Sports Wall, we have a ton of local action. It's not even sports extra yet. A top 10 girls soccer battle as 6th-ranked Byron hosts number 7 Winona. But first, we're going to start here on the gridiron with some Thursday night lights. Third-ranked Chatfield on the road to face the 2-1 Triton Cobras. A battle in the Snake Pit, one of my favorite places. Gophers came out swinging. Carson Rowland pulls it on. The keeper will get in for the score. Chatfield up 6-0. A little later in the red zone again. Rowland on the boot. He's got Devin Reinhardt uncovered. A little stiff arm. You can go ahead and put another 6 on the board for Chatfield. Gophs would go for 2 here. Rowland calling his own number once more. Got some blockers on that edge and count it. Chatfield taking a 14-zip lead. Triton out of answer. Pierce Petershaw. Screen pass to Brody Money Kaiser. That ball gets knocked out. Fumble in the bag. Caden Boyum recovers it for the Gophers. Everything's going Chatfield's way. Parker Delaney here in at QB in this second quarter. Look at this beauty. That's right in the breadbasket. Cole Novotny. Dime droppers are light for another tutty. As Chatfield rolls on to win 43-0. Gophers move to 4-0 on the year. Some other scores from the gridiron tonight. Mayo falls on the road in Rosemount 34-8. Spartans are now 2-2 on the year. Have a tough slate ahead. Lakeville South comes to Rochester next Friday. Then Mayo goes to Lakeville North the following week. Elsewhere in the Battle of the Cardinals, Lewiston Altura falls 52-8 to Bethlehem Academy. Next up for LA, a home game against Wabasha Kellogg. Let's go to volleyball. Century hosting John Marshall. This crosstown rivalry match, always a great battle. JM came out roaring in this one. Century on the swing. But Letitia Basau and Lainey Meister say, get that out of here. What a block at the net. Rockets went on a 6-0 run after that. Addison Tim Payne brings the pain. Too much heat on that swing. JM out to an 11-3 lead in this first set. But here comes Century. Great setup for Ava Decker. Bringing down the hammer. That is good for 1. Then ref here kind of blocks her out, but that's Megan Lund at the net with just a great play. Floater over the net. JM leads down to 19-7. John Marshall, though, just too much in this set. First, it's Lydia Hack with a great dig there. Then Tim Payne with the kill. Rockets take set 1, 25-12. John Marshall doesn't let up. Rockets take this crosstown battle 3-0. Next, we go out on the pitch, a top 10 girls soccer matchup in the Bears Den. 6th-ranked Byron hosting 7th-ranked Winona. Join in second half, Winona leading 1-0. Former athlete of the week is Paige Halder. Hits the nitros like Fast and the Furious and drops this back for Peyton Satsky. What's up at the end of this rainbow? The equalizer. Tie game off that beautiful shot. A little later here, Windhawks with the direct kick. This is Faith Quinn, and that's a beaut. Bending in over the top. It's money. Simply phenomenal strike. Winona takes back the lead And that is how this one ends. Winona gets the big win here, 2-1, the final score. Let's go to junior hockey now. Grizzlies finishing up a series in Granite City. The second game had to be rescheduled. Rochester gets the win 6-3, and his head coach Tyler Veen's first win at the helm. Big shout out to him. Grizz will return home on Saturday to face Wilmer. Lastly, here's some cool news for Rochester native former John Marshall Rocket Matthew Hurt. Announced today that Hurt is a member of the USA U23 3-on-3 FIBA World Cup team. Hurt played in the G League for the Memphis Hustle last season, averaging 15.3 points per game, 4.4 rebounds. He joins the Jalen LeCue, Trey McCowans, and Bryce Willis on the team. They're set to play in the FIBA 3-on-3 U23 World Cup starting September 27th in Lublin, Poland. So big congrats to him. That'll do it from the Sports Wall tonight. We'll be back after this.
Well, finally tonight, imagine bringing home a pet that makes a noise like this. That's a baby otter, and it has a smile one wildlife worker just couldn't resist. The worker witnessed a pair of orcas kill the pup's mom. Knowing the baby would not survive in the wild, they brought it to the Alaska Sea Life Center. She won't be able to live on her own, so the center is looking for a permanent home for her. Julian, you've been wanting a little pet?
Big pet guy over there.
Big pet guy.
Big pet guy.
So we've already made the phone call. You can't say no.
The screech was rough, but did turn out pretty cute. She looked pretty cute at the end.
What are you going to feed your otter?
What do otters eat? I don't know. Maybe what
Figure
I
it out,
eat, some
because the
McDonald's
baby's
fries.
coming to you real soon. You got to get these things organized, Julian. All right. Thanks. Oh, we're going to do something with
21st night of September.
There you go.
That's all I got.
It's perfect. We'll see you tomorrow. Have a good
You know, if they see moms putting out the stories of their children and how fentanyl is killing them, that maybe they'll be a little more aware and they won't have to have that happen to them. You can't describe how much it hurts every day.
According to the CDC, U.S. overdose deaths topped 100,000.